Cool. Hey guys, this is Roman Sabella. I'm here with Highland Rose for Live on Studio B with Edinboro Now. We have the band today. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Dan Zoltani and I play lead guitar.
I'm Tyler Liskow, I'm lead singer.
I'm Caleb Kerr, I play bass and do backup vocals.
And we are currently missing our drummer, Mr. Jesse De Lorenzo. Shout out. We love you, man.
Cool. I'm going to start out the questions real soon here then. How long have you guys been a band then?
As a four-piece, we've been together for about a little over 2.5 years. Coming up in January will be 3 years with Tyler. Tyler was the newest member until Caleb added on.
Okay. I sort of joined the band. I think our first show with me was in January, right?
Yeah. So it'll be a year in January that you've been with us and 3 years that we've been together as a band.
Cool. Okay. If you guys had to describe your sound, how would you?
We're just straight ahead hard rock. No, actually we had an interview on Rock 104 in Youngstown that's kind of a joke amongst the band, but that's how I described us, and that's kind of how it is, we're big fans of classic rock, grunge, just anything modern as well, and all those things kind of come together and make Highland Rose.
Nice. What would you say, if you guys had to name one, either as a group or each one of you guys can name one, what would you say is an album that would have defined your childhoods?
Childhood. Maybe No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne was for me. From the time I was in diapers until I picked up my first guitar, that was on constant repeat. My dad and I would listen to it in the car and things like that. I think it had a bigger impact on me than I ever really cared to realize.
I think the first album I've ever listened to was City of Evil, Avenged Sevenfold. And I vary with what I listen to. I love rap, I love rock. I throw some good old-fashioned classical in my face, I'll listen to it. But, I don't know, Avenged Sevenfold really got me into the rock kind of scene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. When I was younger, I never really listened to full albums, in all honesty. It was more like, hey, listen to this song. I listened to just a song, then I listened to just a bunch of different songs. But it wasn't until actually, maybe 3 years ago that I found an album that I was actually able to listen to front to back, and it actually kind of defined our friend group along with our band, but it definitely defined more so our friend group as a whole, and that would definitely be the Black Parade.
The Black Parade.
There
were nights where we would just sit in the car and sing that entire album the whole way through.
We would hang out at Sheets, and these people would literally they would leave and come back 3 hours later and be like, what the hell are they still doing here? And we would sing, we would be screaming, we'd be screaming the words out, we get to the last song, and at that point, their singer's phenomenal. What's his name again?
Gerard Way.
Gerard Way. Phenomenal. And I would try to sing Famous Last Words, and I couldn't do it. And Caleb would be able to do it, and I'd be like, screw you, man.
But I sing like a female.
Yeah.
I have a very high register.
That's all I love.
It's okay, though.
Cool.
I'd be so lost without you.
I guess next up, I haven't asked, where or how did you guys all meet?
So much.
It's kind of a funny story. I've actually known Caleb the longest of anybody in the band. We became friends when we were 13, 14. And, just spending the summer together and having some shenanigans. So I've known him for the longest time, and our first band was together. We were called Unchained, and we just mostly did covers. And then I got in contact with our drummer Jesse in, I want to say 2013, around March that time, and he had a little project going that he was working on with a few friends. I went and played with them a little bit, and then that ended up falling apart. But Jesse and I wanted to stick together. We really liked playing with each other. We drew a lot of inspiration from each other. So we wanted to put something else together. And our former bassist, Matt, we met him in summer of that year, I want to say in July of that year, and played as a three-piece, Highland Rose. We had the name around that time.
You're forgetting the Guitar Center story.
Oh, well,
we gotta go full blown into this.
All right,
you can't there's a lot of things that have happened.
That's true. We met
where we are.
I was at Guitar Center one night looking to get a new amplifier, check out some gear, and I saw this kid there, and he was playing really loudly through the biggest Marshall there with a Les Paul, and I was like, all right, you're pretty good, but I think I can top you. It was a big ego contest. I never even met this kid before.
So
he started playing a bunch of he started playing a bunch of Rush riffs. Yeah. I was like, all right, I know a little bit of Rush. So we were going back and forth and just kind of looking at each other across the room all right, yeah. And I get a message on Facebook later that night, hey man, were you at Guitar Center today? Yeah, what's going on, man? Yeah, no, my name's Matt. I see we live in like the same town. Like we both live in Newcastle. We're like 5 minutes away from each other, and it just sort of happened that way. So he came on. We played our first show that Tyler came out to, and over the course of a few months, you know, we had a few practices, hung out with Tyler a little bit, and we actually met him on Craigslist.
There we go.
It's not something we're proud of, but it's yielded good results. There was a 10% chance something good could have came from it, and we were lucky enough that it
The
did.
jokes that ensued when I told my friends from Ohio and my dad and all them, and I was like, yeah, I found these guys on Craigslist. The jokes that ensued when I told them that
It's
was
obviously a
it just
hookup,
went
you know?
for like 3 months until finally we all played together and actually played a show, and they're like, oh, well, they're real. Oh
Yeah.
my god. And I'm
Yeah, I
like,
don't think anybody believed he
No one
actually had a
believed that I
band. He was
actually
just
had
going
a
to these like
band.
private meetups, you know, in
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Yeah, it's
Craigslist.
kinda
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Hanging out in Newcastle.
So
a lot.
it's been kind of crazy, you know. Matt left the band about a year ago, and a friend of ours filled in for a little while. But then around probably December, we decided we wanted to ask Caleb to play bass and take on that role, and he's been doing an incredible job so far.
Nice. So I was stalking through your Facebook page before you guys go out here to find out some more information. Whatever. It's been a while since we first met up.
Right.
I saw that you guys had recently released an acoustic rendition of your song "Can't Escape." What drove you guys to do that?
Well, I think, you know, our first professional recordings were done from between September to December, right?
yeah,
Up in Cleveland at Sumo Recording Studios. And we got to work with an incredible producer. And a good friend of ours from a band, Line of Defense from Canton, Ohio, David Bruno, he had just recently got into recording, and he had recorded some stuff for their band. We listened to it, and we really, really enjoyed it. So we wanted to go there and lay a few tracks down. We didn't want to put too many of our songs on there, you know, because we were still waiting to put together a full-length album.
Yes.
So we wanted to do one electric song and two acoustic songs, and have the CD available for free and for free download online as a sort of thank you to our fans who've been around for, you know, been following us for what's coming up on 3 years now. And it was natural, you know. It was a song that we've enjoyed for a long time, something we're very proud of, and it transitioned very well.
just songs in general, do you have a main songwriter, or is it more of a group effort?
How the process normally goes is most of the time, very rarely do we write songs individually. You know, if we have an idea, we might flesh it out a little bit or come up with a few like corresponding parts. But typically band practices are when ideas form and they come to light for the first time. I usually tend to be the one to come in with a guitar riff or a melody or, you know, something like that on guitar, and we shape things based around that, you know. And then we all pick away at it. Jesse does a big part in helping like organize the song and place parts and things like that. And once we get the music together, then we'll record it, you know, a little iPhone recording or something like that. And we'll send it to Tyler so he can sit there and make a melody or, you know, and then put lyrics to that melody.
It's funny though, because I don't even really use the recordings ever. There's like been like one song or two songs I've actually had to listen to the song and be like, oh yeah, no, that's how I'm gonna do it. Most of the time it's just I remember how the song goes. I'll just it'll be
memory.
Well, you were there the one time when we didn't hear me
it was
out.
literally in like the back
It
seat
was
of my
just
truck.
I was
right?
just sitting there. No, it was in your Nissan.
Oh, in the
And
Nissan.
I'm sitting in the
Okay,
front
cool.
seat. We're driving back to his house, and I'm sitting there, and we're just talking and everything. And I go, "Wait, shut up." And he goes, "What?" And I'm like, "Just shush." And I sit there, and I'm just like, pull my phone. I just start typing away. I don't, you know, that's a fun time. But
So you guys would say that
it's definitely
music
a
comes
group.
before lyrics then?
Yeah, music.
Yeah,
90% of the time,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't think
99%.
there's actually, I don't think there's
of
ever
the
been a song that we wrote where I was like, guys, I have this really good lyric idea. Let's make a song around it. It's always just been like, oh, okay, cool. Here's the instrumental.
And I think something that comes of that that's really interesting and that has worked really well for us is because of the nature of the song. You know, if it's a dark song, if it's a happy song, if it's sort of laid back, I think that can influence the lyrics very well. You know, so he might not necessarily know what he's going to sing about until we have the full song together. He might not have an
That's definitely
idea,
true.
but listening to like certain tones in the song or certain parts that go together nicely or just make an atmosphere. I think that gives him a lot more to spring off of and a lot more to put together in his head as to what this song might be about. The music speaks to him.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because a lot of the times we don't hear the lyrics until we perform the song. So it's like an
Yeah.
adventure for us as a band.
That's definitely a true thing.
In the beginning, it was kind of an odd thing. We're like, no, we need to hear. But as time has gone on, like kind of, I'll be like, okay, well, what's your melody for this? We're playing this today. We're playing in Kent today. What's your melody for this?
Yeah, that's
And he'll-
interesting. I've actually never ever went, hey guys, I got these really good lyrics, read them. I've always been like, no,
Yeah.
you can read them after I sing them for the first time, and then you could read
It's always
them.
an adventure for you
It's
guys.
always
Yeah.
an event. I think there was
Like,
only,
let's
I
see
think
what he
Hear Me
says
Out was
with
the
it.
only song where I went, I'm really proud of these lyrics. Like, I want to show you these lyrics now and not before the show. And I actually called him. I showed him, 'cause he was with me. And I called him. I was like, dude, read the lyrics. And then he read them. And I was like, I think that's the first time I actually went, yeah, read these lyrics first. But like 95% of the time, it's always like, no, you can't read these lyrics until the song
You'll
comes
hear them
out.
when everyone else hears them.
Exactly. That's exactly how it works. And it hasn't really failed us yet.
It's
It's
done
actually
good,
it's
yeah.
it's been going okay. Where we have a new song and we'll perform it and we'll get it and always hear like we're always doing like one little mistake or whatever and in my head I'll be like, damn it, I messed
They
up
don't
that
notice
part.
that.
But everyone else is just like, no, it sounded really good. I really like the new song. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, like,
It's a fun time for me too, because then at that point I usually have to improv backups, or like an hour before the show he'll pull me out of the venue and be like, hey, listen,
That
this is
happened-
what you need to do this, and I'm like, are you serious? Like,
That
I don't
happened-
have the time to.
that happened literally 2 days ago.
I know, and I messed up a little bit. It worked though. It worked.
It worked, especially that last chorus when he threw in that harmony, just threw it in there, and I was like, that works for me, man. And it just worked out, and people dug it, and it was a good time. That's usually how that works, though.
As a band, what would you guys say is like your mission or your goal?
The mission is definitely to take it as far as we can.
Mhm.
While we enjoy the local shows and we love the local crowds, our best shows are always in front of the most people. When we have a crowd that is really enjoying us and really digging what we're doing, playing with a bunch of other incredible bands, there's a certain atmosphere to a big show that is just obviously completely different from a smaller show or a small local show. And the goal is to take it to Billboard. The goal is to take it to Rock on the Range,
Yeah.
all
the
across
way.
the world. This is what we love. This is what we want to do, and we're trying to take the best steps we can to making that a reality.
not here. Here, how about just speaking of concerts in general? What would you guys say was from your concerts? Because you'd spoken earlier about favorite concerts. Or what's a favorite like concert moment or ever your own one that you guys have performed in?
Recently, we had a show at the Outpost in Kent,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a sizable crowd, not the biggest we've ever seen, but they were really into it.
That was definitely a good show.
They were feeling the music. I don't know
Yeah, that was
what it
probably
was
the most
about that
responsive.
specific group of people, but they were extremely responsive.
Mm-hmm.
So they were all up front. They were all just losing their minds,
Oh yeah, they.
and that was very memorable because a lot of the times you have shows where people are just like, live music, cool.
Yeah, they'll sit there on the back and play on their phones and stuff, and you're just like,
Take a picture every once
And, you
in a
know,
while.
we're still
Yeah.
getting our music out to an audience. They're still hearing us. They have no choice to. We play so damn loud. But
yeah, that's true.
it's nice to see that response because at times it's a little rough. Like, why are we doing this? We're not getting anywhere. But then we have shows like that. And I feel like in my short experience with the band, there's always been those sort of breakthrough shows when times get real.
To make it worth it for you guys?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Definitely.
And that was definitely one. A show we played with a band that I will not name. Is their singer? It was Puddle of Mud.
Oh, okay.
It was in. It was in.
I was gonna be like,
Oh no! It was in Cleveland. Last year,
that was
June of last year.
Yeah, the June
All
of
right,
last
so
year.
there were like 13 local bands on the show. It was at a big place. Like it was poorly planned by the promoter, and we were told, you sell the most tickets, you will have the opening spot for Puddle of Mud. So we went on radio. We did a bunch of interviews, a bunch of promo, and we sold over 100 tickets out to Cleveland, like from Youngstown and Newcastle.
Yeah.
Which was it was no small feat. And we got out there. We got paid like what, $100 for that hard work.
Yeah, something
and,
like that. It was like 100, $200, something
and
like that.
they had a bunch of bands from not a bunch, like 2 or 3 bands from out of town that were already slated to like be the opening slots for the show. So we put all this effort in just to be playing at like 7 o'clock on the stage, amongst all these other bands, and every band is going over their time limit. So when it comes time for us, after having sold like 106 tickets, being promised all of these things, we had 19 minutes as a band to go out there and play in front of a few hundred people, who are ready to go. So we went out there angrier than I think we've ever been as a band. And every song was taken at like double the tempo.
Oh my god.
It was ridiculous.
There's a
but-
video of All My Life up on Facebook, and the dun 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 dun. We took it dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
It was the angriest show I think we've ever played.
That was
It was one of
something.
the best responses we've ever had. Like everybody in the audience was completely focused in on us and feeding off of that anger. We made it apparent via microphone and via performance that we were just beyond pissed.
Yeah.
Am I able to?
Post, I guess. We're good.
That we were beyond upset.
There you go.
Pissed is fine.
Okay. As long as we don't drop the big words, we're okay.
All right.
I like to think that
Top
that's
7, there's none of those.
Yeah,
top
right,
7.
right.
Pissed is okay.
But that was definitely one that sticks out to me. But I will say
Yeah.
the last show we did in Kent with Angel Vivaldi, he's a shred guitarist, the one
Mm.
Caleb was talking about, that was probably my favorite show we've ever played about a week and a half ago. And it was really nice. After a lot of hard work put into bar shows, putting money together, we're getting back onto the actual performance scene. And that was just one of the best ways to get back into it. It was incredible.
I think definitely my favorite. It was an old show too. Definitely my favorite was probably like 6 months after we were a band with me
Rex
and everything
Theater.
like that. Was definitely the Rex Theater, and it
We were
wasn't
there.
because of the
Yeah.
performance. It wasn't because we were the headliner or anything. It wasn't like we made a lot of money. It was because we got screwed over about as much as Puddle of Mud did. We sold 88 tickets, and this was like this was through a company that I won't say.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
I was there.
That's actually
Oh, yeah,
how
that's right, you were there.
that's how we met Roman.
Yeah, that's how we
Right.
met.
Do you remember at the
I
end of
remember
that?
it. I remember it quite well.
Yeah, I took the guitar and we were so pissed and we were on our way down there and I said, "Hey Dan, do you know anyone that has a guitar on the way down here?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, I guess we're stopping at the pawn shop." We stopped at the pawn shop.
No. I picked up a guitar.
Did you pick up the guitar?
Yeah.
$50.
Mm.
Bought the guitar, 3 strings on it. Like I knew that it was not for playability. It was literally just to smash the guitar at the end of the show. And we finished out with Walk Away, and I only needed the 3 strings. And we finished out the song, and I moved everyone aside, and I jumped off, and I smashed the guitar. And we got disqualified, I guess, in a sense, from the
Yeah.
concert because they were like, that's a sure sign of disrespect to the company and this whole show and everything, and we were just like, we don't care, you know, we're done with
Yeah,
you people.
well, it was definitely
we
disrespect.
didn't care, and the band that won that, what was that?
I can't remember.
That other band, and we were just like, what?
Some metal act.
It was some
yeah,
metal
that-
act. It
Yeah,
just wasn't-
Yeah, do you
They were
remember?
dressed up like it looked like they were coming out like Kiss or something. I think.
They were-
I think that was the
they were
one.
something.
Something weird.
Something, yeah.
So-
I remember the singer's dad came up after and he was like, thanks everybody for coming. The singer's dad just walks right up and he's like, you need to learn how to be humble. On stage, in the microphone.
This guy's like a punk kid, and he's like, sorry, Dad.
The kid was a punk kid and he was just like, yeah, we won. Dad comes up and the kid was just like, sorry, Dad. And then just walked up.
Sorry, everybody.
And I was
Thank
just
you.
like, oh my goodness. But that was definitely one of my favorites because I got to smash the guitar and it was just so much anger and we were just like, screw it, because I can't say the actual word that we were all saying, but screw it is a good word to say.
Good
You
substitute.
know, good substitute for that. But that was definitely one of my favorites right
Yeah.
there.
Well, we're getting towards the end here, so where can our viewers, anybody listening now, where can they find your music, purchase it?
Damn it, plug now.
Plug.
Yeah.
The best place to check us out first is Facebook. You know, we post videos from our YouTube, links to our music. You know, we have a couple live performance videos on there as well. That might be the best place to check us out, to see if you even like us. You know, we might not be your cup of tea, and that's totally fine. Our YouTube currently is the best place to check us out. Like Roma mentioned earlier, we have an acoustic version of our song Can't Escape. Our website will be launching here hopefully within the next week, highlandrose.us. And I myself have put a lot of work into the website, and on there you can buy our EP, Next First Step, as well as download our new EP, The Canton Sessions Volume 1 for free. And that would be the best place to check us out. So for the time being, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and in the coming weeks, be on the lookout for our website, highlandrose.us.
Yeah, use your body.
Drink the water. Out of town. Good? Sound good back there? By the way, everybody, that's my girlfriend. I didn't get a chance to introduce everybody. It's my girlfriend, Shannon. Shannon, this is everybody. Now you're introduced. Be friends. Alright.
This is going to be funny with
I know, that is going to be interesting.
Just extra sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is not on the EP, but I.
This is our first time doing this one acoustically. so-
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
No pressure.
no pressure.
Oh, I forgot how to play
Is this
guitar.
it again? How do you play this?
What's a bass guitar?
Is this how this works?
Oh,
Essentially,
gave me
though.
this.
Essentially. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it.
Good to go?
What about the drum part?
So, never mind, you guys are playing. So, yeah, of course.
Okie dokie.
He's just taking all
Constant
this in.
face, just.
Just every time I see the kid. Hey, we're good to go. The whole series.
Just the whole time.
Yeah, you two just keep a constant face. No talk.